Hi guys, this is Maverick Paul, the Chemistry Guru. Now in this video, we want to discuss the last question for 2019 A-Levels H2 Chemistry, Paper 1, question 30. Alright, question 30, the cathode of a cell is a square piece of copper with dimensions 0.1 meter by 0.1 meter. The electrolyte is copper 2 sulfate. So assuming that each copper atom occupies a cube of length 3.0 times 10 to the power of minus 12 meter. The piece of copper has no thickness and then there's a uniform coverage. Faraday's constant given 9.65 times 10 to the power of 4 coulomb per mole. So how long would it take a current of 4.0 ampere to cover both sides of the piece of copper with new copper to a total depth of 1000 atoms? So we're given 4 options. Later we will calculate this. So the interesting part of this question, or maybe the controversial part of this question, is this phrase here covering both sides of the piece of copper. So certain students will interpret this in a certain way. Some of us will interpret this in a different way. So let me show you how do I interpret this question, and then we will try to discuss this. So the first thing we will have to do is we will have to handle this cathode of a cell, which is a square piece of copper involving this dimension first. So we want to settle this guy first. So if I look at this diagram, this is the square piece of your copper. Then each copper atom, the dimension is here, 3 times 10 to the power of minus 12 meter. Then this square piece of copper electrode, the dimension is in total 0.1 meter by 0.1 meter. So what I can do is I can calculate the number of copper atoms for each square layer. So this will just be the area of this entire cathode divided by the area of your copper atom, correct? So the working is here. This is 0.1 square. This is the area for my electrode. Then this 3 times 10 to the power of minus 12 square. This is the area of one copper atom. So this will work out to be 1.111 times 10 to the power of 21, which means that each layer will have this quantity or this number of copper atoms. So that is the first portion. Now the next thing is we will have to interpret what do we mean by covering both sides of the piece of copper with new copper to a total depth of 1000 atoms. Now in my opinion, I don't think this is very interesting in terms of chemistry concepts because it is just playing with words, so it makes it a bit confusing. So some of us will interpret this as covering both sides to a total depth of 1000 atoms. So in terms of interpretation is this side will be 1000, this side will be 1000. So in total, the total size will be 2000 atoms. But how I interpret this is if I'm covering both sides, because when we have electrolysis, both sides of the electrode will be simultaneously coated with new copper. So the question wants a total depth of 1000 atoms. I'm assuming that the total depth, that means when it is expanding on both sides, the total depth is 1000 atoms. So each side should only be 500 atoms. So covering both sides to total depth of 1000 atoms should be each side is only 500 atoms. Again, this question, the portion which is controversial or which is confusing is this portion here, covering both sides. How do we interpret this? Do we interpret this as 500 both sides or 1000 both sides? So how I interpret this would be 500 on both sides, total depth of 1000 atoms. So once we take this to be the case, then we can move on with our calculation, right? Because the number of copper atoms for a total depth of 1000 atoms will just be the area for one sheet multiplied by the depth, which is 1000. Because this side 500, this side 500, in total it is still 1000. So this would be 1.111 times 10 to the power of 24. So once I have the number of copper atoms, the rest is easy. It will be ultimately finding the charge. So I can find the number of mole of copper, which is the number of copper atoms divided by Avogadro constant. So this will work out to be 1.845. Once I have the number of mole of copper, I can work out what is the number of mole of electron involved during this discharge. The mole ratio is here. So the mole ratio involving copper 2 plus 2 electron to give me copper metal, the number of mole of electron should be double or twice the number of mole of copper. So I can work this out to be 3.69. That means 1.845 times 2. Once I have the number of mole of electron, I can make use of the Faraday's equation to ultimately determine the time taken. So Q, which is the charge, is equals to number of mole of electron multiplied by Faraday's constant. So this is 3.69 times 96500. I'll get this quantity here, 356100 coulomb. Then I can make use of the other Faraday's equation, Q equals to IT, charge equals to current times time. So time is charge divided by current. So this is 356100 divided by 4. This information is given. The current for this electrolysis is 4 ampere. So I can find out the time in seconds, 89020 seconds. Of course, we want to convert this to hour because the question gives us most of the options in terms of hour. So convert seconds to hours. This will be 24.7 hours. So if I run through the options, A is 178 seconds, B 24.7 hours, C is 49.4 hours, then D is 98.9 hours. So the answer to this question should be option B. Again, back to this portion which is a bit confusing. If you assume that the total depth of 1000 atoms is interpreted as each side is 1000, so therefore it will be a total of 2000 atoms, then in terms of calculation, everything that we have will be double. Then towards the end, your answer will be option C. So this question actually stirs up quite a bit of a discussion after this paper was done. The choice was between option B and option C. So my interpretation of this is, since I have a total depth of 1000 atoms, so each side is 500, left hand side 500, right hand side 500, all together add up, the total depth is 1000. So if we are using that interpretation, then the answer will be option B. Alright, so that was the discussion involving question 30. Now question 30, the part which is confusing or the part that is controversial, in my opinion, it is not particularly interesting because it is a play with the language, nothing to do with chemistry concepts. So in my opinion, if they want to set a question which is a little bit more challenging, then they should focus on the chemistry concepts, not playing with words. So if you have learned something useful from this video, please give me the thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more weekly video lessons. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.